Grumpy.
Welcome back, America. It's 7:52. And now we travel out to suburban Philadelphia to our very own Diane Courtney, on location with the sad story of a fallen game show host. Diane?
Thanks, Annie. He was the king of daytime during the heady, coke-filled days of 80s morning television. But when the party was over, former game show host Plunk Kensington turned in his question cards for the life of a recluse, hoarding cats and cash receipts in a series of increasingly smaller apartments. Today, he's reached his final round. It's my Plunk Kensington final round. But really, no. East Westfield, Pennsylvania officials are ready to rip him from his home, and we have that story right now.
Diane, sorry to interrupt, but it appears that Mike Murray is breaking in with more of the story. Mike, do you have anything to add?
Annie, unfortunately not a lot to add until city officials arrive to remove former game show host Plunk Kensington from his apartment for the final time, and they're expected here at any moment. So until then, let's send it back to the studio where Diane is with some more background on this sad, sad story. Diane, back to you.
Thanks, Mike, but I'm not in the studio. I'm out here live, and I'm reporting from this sad scene. So, Mike, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Diane. So let's send it back to Diane in the studio. Diane, back to you.
All right, and as confused and as blitzed as it sounds like Mike probably is, let's once again send it back to Mike in the studio where he is supposed to be, as I am the one who's reporting live right here. Mike, back to you.
And by virtue of the fact that she's screwed it up before when she's been in the field, let's kick it on back to Diane in the studio with the story of Plunk's road to oblivion. The kind of backstory that you can only get in the studio. So Diane, in the studio where you should be.
Annie, Annie, why don't we get a producer over here, someone of authority, to maybe make a call on this? Because actually, I'm bringing you this story live right here. And we're waiting on city officials who are just
to arrive and eject former beloved tragic game show host Plunk Kensington from his tiny hovel of an apartment in suburban Philadelphia. The greater metropolitan area of brotherly love, not showing much of it this morning. Back to you.
We'll come back to Mike and or Diane as soon as the city officials...
Annie, I have a news-breaking update. We have located Plunk's neighbor, and she has agreed to speak with us on camera. What can you tell us about Plunk?
Well, I never heard much from him. He was a real quiet man.
A recluse, forced to escape society.
Annie, I have a breaking news right here. This is Plunk's neighbor. She's with us right now. Now, you have gone on recent record to say that Plunk was a quiet man, correct? So you never heard anything coming from his apartment?
Well, every now and then I would hear him singing Christmas carols, I guess, to his cats.
Is the city of East Westfield intolerant of religion? We'll ask that tough question as soon as city officials arrive.
Diane, we're just hearing from the field producer that the city officials have just arrived in front of the building.
Screw it. Let's go. Let's go.
Damn bitch. If you pump it, you just have to pump it.
We can do this.
Down to the basement. Down to the basement. Go down to the basement. Just keep pumping. You just pump the number.
God, there's a lot of stairs.
I've only got one shoe, but I'm going to make it work. Okay? I don't know where we are. I don't know this building at all. Are we supposed to go down or up? Are we going back up again?
No, wait a second. All right, here we go.
Come on, lock, basement. Which way does the door open? Get off me! No, you asshole!
Well, I guess there's a bit more of that story that still needs to be worked out. So, back to me!